Hello and welcome to my kitchen. My name is Valerie, aka Mrs. K, and today I'll be sharing a recipe with you for a warm plantain salad. So plantain looks similar to dessert banana, however, it's usually cooked. It can be included in sweet and savoury dishes. Plantain is high in fibre. It contains complex carbohydrate, which means when you eat it, it takes a longer time for the glucose in it to be released into your bloodstream. So it helps to keep your blood glucose on an even keel. It also has high amounts of vitamins and minerals in it. Plantain is the base of this recipe, okay? So if you're not familiar with plantain, I'm going to show you how to prepare it. So what you do is you cut the ends of it off like this, and then you need to score down the flesh of the plantain with a sharp knife. Score down, and then you just peel the skin away, just like this. Now for this recipe, I'm going to dice the plantain and then I'm going to season it up. And instead of frying it as we usually do, I'm going to bake it in the oven. But I'll show you how to do it. So I'm just going to put the plantain skin to one side, and now we're going to dice it up. Now it really doesn't matter as long as you end up with small pieces. Everything that I've suggested, be creative. I guess the most important thing for this recipe is the plantain. So once you've got that, everything else you can kind of work around. So now I'm going to season it up. I have in my dish here, I have some Jeera, I have some salt, I have some garlic powder and some onion salt. I'm just going to put that in there. And it really is about a teaspoon of Jeera. Well, I put a teaspoon because I like Jeera. That's a quarter teaspoon of salt. Just gonna coat it. Half a teaspoon of onion powder, half a teaspoon of garlic powder. But you know, if you like garlic and you like onion, then you can put a little bit more. Okay, that's nice and coated. I have a lined baking tray here, and I've just lined it with some baking parchment. And what I'm going to do is going to add to this. I've got some spray oil here that I'm using. I've got spray avocado oil. Just going to spray it over that, a little bit of spray oil. It works out, and I'm just going to put it on the tray so it's nicely coated. It's got the oil on it, it's got the seasoning on it, and this is my plantain. You can see it. I'm going to pop that in the oven. I'm going to put this to one side because before I put that in the oven, I've also got some vegetables here that I'm going to roast off as well. So this warm plantain salad contains the plantain. It's going to contain some roasted vegetables, some avocado and beans and tomato. Oh my goodness, it's just so tasty. Alright, so next, into the same bowl, we don't have to wash it because we're putting similar seasoning in it. I have a medium courgette, or I guess in other parts of the world you call it zucchini, that I've diced. So that's going to go into my bowl. I've got one red sweet pepper, or you may call it a bell pepper, that I've also diced. That's going to go into my bowl. Okay, I've got a medium, it works out as I measured it, so it's about a cup of chopped red onion. That's going to go into my bowl as well. Now, if you don't like onion, leave it out. If you haven't got red onion, use white onion. If you don't like courgette, use another vegetable that roasts well. I mean, I think that also aubergine would be wonderful in this. I just didn't have any at home. I'm stirring that up, and now I'm going to season. And I'm going to show you how I season things at home. So this is my cumin. Honestly, I'm not one for measuring. and go with the flow. So I'm going to put some cumin in here. That's about 1.5 teaspoons, I say. I'm going to put some garlic granules. I'm just going to shake that in there. I've got some cayenne pepper. I'm going to shake in here. Wonderful. Put some salt. So I use red Himalayan, pink Himalayan salt, sorry. So grind some in here. Stir it all up again. So you can either use spray oil on it, or what you can do is go into your cupboard like this, get out your bottle of avocado oil that I have here, and you can drizzle it on. So it doesn't matter, you don't have to spray, I'm just giving you different options. I'm just going to drizzle some avocado oil over here. I think it's about a tablespoon, according to Val measures. A tablespoon of avocado oil. I'm going to stir it in so it's all coated. Believe you me, it's already smelling wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Right. And if it smells so good before it's cooked, you can only imagine how good it's going to taste when it's done. Okay. So I have another baking tray, this one here, that I've also lined with baking parchment. And I'm going to just ease this out onto the baking parchment, just like this. Spread it out. And I'm going to put the plantain and the vegetables into roast at about the same time. I'm going to put it in the oven on 180 degrees Celsius. I will check it again in about 15 to 20 minutes just to see how it's going on. So I'm cooking everything down open, roasting it down open. So this is my plantain. I already showed you. These are my vegetables that are going to roast, and I'm putting them in the oven now. So my vegetables are now in the oven roasting away, and at this point I'm going to show you how to make the part of this recipe that really gives a good flavoured kick to it. So we need to make, first of all, we need to make a French dressing. So in the French dressing, I'm going to use 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, so that's going to go into my dish. 3 tablespoons of olive oil, so that's going to go into here. And French dressing really is about ratios. The ratio is 3 parts oil to 1 part of either lemon juice or vinegar. Okay, so that's going to go in there. I want to put some fresh garlic in here. I have a clove of fresh garlic. I'm going to put that in there. Okay. And I'm going to put some salt. Oh, what else am I going to put? Oh yes, I'm going to put some salt. It's about, I don't know, that's about, I'll start with a 1/4 teaspoon, and then you can see if it's for you. You may not want to put salt, you know, everybody has different taste requirements for their food. And I'm also going to put some cayenne pepper. I like things with a little bit of a kick because I like some spice in my life. So I would probably put, for my taste, in this, a good probably 1/2 teaspoon of cayenne, but you can put more or less or completely leave it out if you want to. Now I'm just whisking all of this up together. And also, once it's made, you need to taste your food to see if your flavour points are right. You might need to adjust the seasoning as the dish progresses. So now that that's made, we will be putting kidney beans in this dish. And one thing that I know about beans in salad is if you add them to the salad last, they sometimes don't taste of anything. So what I'm going to do right now into this dish is put some kidney beans. You can use whatever beans you like. I just happen to have kidney beans in my cupboard. And this is a 14-ounce tin of kidney beans. It's a standard tin of beans, okay? So I drained it and I rinsed it off, so that's going to go in here. And we're going to let it sit in this lovely French dressing. It's going to really soak up the flavours. It's going to add so much character to the salad when you're eating it. Okay, the other thing that I'm going to put in right now is I have some coriander. We call it coriander in the UK. In America they call it cilantro. So I've got some chopped coriander. I think I'm going to put about a 1/4 cup of that in there, roughly. Turn that around in there. A similar flavour for those people who hail from the island of my ancestors, Trinidad, is shadow beni. Shadow beni is a beautiful herb that we use in cooking in Trinidad, so you could use some of that as well. But I do think shadow beni is a bit stronger than coriander, so maybe if you're adding shadow beni, you'd add just a little bit less. Okay, and I also have here 1 medium chopped avocado. So I'm going to put that in here. Going to stir it around, coat it with the French dressing, because we know with avocado, if you cut it and you don't coat it with something acidic, like lemon juice or French dressing, it starts going brown. Oh, my mouth is watering already. I'm going to cover it down shortly and just leave it to settle. And I'll be back to you once the vegetables and the plantain is roasted to show you the next steps. Well, my vegetables are out of the oven now and it's time for us to build this warm plantain salad, but I'll show you what they look like before we put everything together. So over here we have our plantain that's been baked in the oven. It's lovely and spicy, it's a little bit crispy on the outside, a little bit sweet as well, because you know we use the riper plantain, and the riper the plantain gets, the sweeter it becomes. These are the roasted vegetables here, and you know they're ready when they get a little bit soft, so you can actually squish them. Squish being a very technical term. So this is a courgette. It just has a little give in it when you push down on it, so you know that they're ready when they get nice and soft, but they're still whole. So you can squash them, but they're not mushy, they're not overcooked. Okay. Here we have the red beans and the avocado and the French dressing and the coriander. Oh, it's just so wonderful. So it's time for us to start building this up. So everything goes into this bowl that I have here. So I'm going to put this in first. Okay, lovely. The order is, to me, irrelevant. Next I'm going to pop in my roasted vegetables, just on top of that. Give that a bit of a stir through. If only you could be here to taste this with me. Now I'm going to add, I have here some freshly chopped tomatoes. It's about a cup of freshly chopped tomatoes. Going to stir that in there. It just brings this salad to life. It adds texture to it because the tomatoes are raw. And finally, I'm going to add the plantain. That goes in there, and I'm going to stir it through. If food could talk, I'll taste this just to see where we are in terms of the seasoning and everything. Get a bit of plantain on here. Just a quick taste. Am I dancing and eating? I'm sorry. I was getting carried away. Oh, that's lovely. Absolutely lovely. So here you have it. This is our warm plantain and avocado salad. It is absolutely delicious. It's made with 100% whole foods. If you want to zhuzh it up and you like olives, you can just put a few on top. Just for interest. This food makes people happy. This food is good for you and it will help to just keep you healthy and ticking over. It has been my absolute pleasure cooking for you, with you today. Stay well. Look at that. Look at that. I wish you were here. I wish you could share. But until next time, take care of yourself. I love life. And I love you.